Let's continue to create our order table. So I can just use another calculate element, keep on transferring the data, and for that I want to get the supplier name from supplier table. Okay, it will be string. So how will I get the supplier name? I will just use the function, let's call it supplier or get supplier name, and the data element will be the supplier name, and I will get the data by using get line item data text, because it was pop-up, so I will make it bring the supplier selection table, and the row will be the supplier selection row, of course, and the column will be 0, I mean the first column, it was the first column. So to remind you, maybe I can show you the table, the supplier table. So it's color number 0 and email address is the color column number 012. So it's the second. It was pop-up select, so I took the text, but for email address I can just get the data. So I just copy and paste it. And I make it get supplier email. Oh, I didn't make the data element. Let's make it supplier email, and let's just get the supplier email by using the third column starting to count from 0, so it's the third column. So I get the data of the supplier email as well as the supplier name. Now let's make a new table as order table. So maybe I can just copy the request table and paste it, and then name it like order table, and order table. But in the order table I need no more the checkbox, so I get rid of it. The rest will remain. Okay, so I have now the order table, same as the request table, but without the approval column. Okay, I save what I have done. Now I want to just set the order table according to a condition, and that condition will be the supplier selection, and the data will transfer from the request table preview. So let's just select the order table first. And then let's use our function that I used as get line item table X. So the table will be the request table preview. So the data will come here. Column index will be again under parentheses 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 columns. But the expression will be here, rely on the condition of the supplier selection. So in order to make that, I first open the first parenthesis, and the condition of the supplier is column 4. So I will get column 4 from, I first open the first parenthesis and double quotes, and under I write my plus, and then the supplier name. I have just created the supplier name. Yes, again I write my plus, and the condition is ready, double quotes and one quote, and I can just close the parenthesis. So according to this condition, the selection of the supplier name from the fourth column, I will bring the other columns from request table preview, these columns, and I will set it to the order table. Just say set order table. Okay, now the order table seems ready. Now I can just send the results with the sub process. Let me save what I have done. So the order table is ready. I can now split the process and send the data to the sub process. So I first get the split tool, and let's take it a little bit down here. Okay, so I will first split the process, then I can send the data to the sub process, and let's find the sub process. Yes, okay, I'll send the data to the sub process according to the supplier selection, but I must define a rule for each supplier. So I'll get the calculate data element, and I write the loop rule in the data element, and let's write the rule. It must be due to the supplier selection row. So let's find the supplier selection row. Yes, and let's write the rule, the supplier selection row plus 1. So this is the supplier selection, row plus 1. Okay, this is the rule to the loop, but of course I will need the decision as well, and the decision will be the supplier selection row number. I think I have it already. Supplier selection row number is greater than the supplier selection row as long as this condition is true, the loop will continue. Yes, as long as this condition is correct, the loop will continue. So if it is yes, then we can just go back to supplier name, because the condition is due to supplier selection. And if it is no, I can use the join, and one of the join can close the process. Yes, let's terminate the process. So we are nearly coming to the end of the process, but we have to define the rules that will go by the sub process. So let's just write the result of the sub process to the join as well, and let's finish the main part of the process and save what we have done. Now it's time for us to design the sub process of our main purchase process. So it was the purchase order form. The process name was purchase order process. So I make a new process card, and let's name it purchase order sub process. So it's a new process, and I drag and drop the manually starting tool. But what you have to what I will do here is I will deactivate this active tick, because I want it to be appeared only when I trigger the main process. So I won't see it in the process list in my process list. I will see it only when it is triggered by the main process. So I don't make it active, and let's name it purchase order sub process. It's not active process, it's only active when it's triggered by the main process. Okay, so let's make a simple process with the supplier name. I want to see the supplier name. I want to see the supplier email because I'll use it. What else? Maybe I can just add notes with memo. And what else? The order table, of course. The order table will be line item table. And I can also take the PO number. Let's write the whole name. Purchase order number. And I can display it as well. So let's just drag and drop a task form, and let's show at the task form. It's the order form, purchase order form. PO number. Okay, so let's show only the order table and the purchase order number. That's fine. And maybe I can just send email to the when it's approved or submit. We can just send an email to the supplier, and I can write any type of text or with HTML code. I can send the order and I can just end the process. Okay, it's a simple one. So the purchase order sub-process is ready. So let's proceed with the purchase order main process and let's transfer data to our sub-process. Let's just transfer the data and let's go to our sub-process and we will transfer data to purchase order sub-process. And which data are we gonna transfer? Let's select the form number can be here, the purchase order number, and let's find the order table. I have to send the order table here to order table at the sub process, and maybe the supplier name to the supplier name and supplier email to the supplier email. Okay, so it seems ready. I save it and I also save what I have done in the sub process. Okay, let's save again, purchase sub process, and let's activate it. And I will do the same for the main process. Okay, let's go to our main process. Let's save our main process too, and let's activate our main process. And let's run it in eFlow Web. Now it's time to see the process that we have designed. Let's start the process of purchase order. And yes, this is the first task form for the initiator, the requester, which product will be requested. Let's say from product 1, I want 2 pieces and red color in this date, and I want from product 5 just 1 piece, and let's say only test and for this date, and I submit it. So when it is submitted by the requester, then it's assigned to the procurement, and procurement will work on this process, and procurement will see that with this form number, this form date, and by this requester, there's a request of 2 products, product 1 and product 5. And now we will select the suppliers. So at the next step, we say that we want proposals from supplier 1 and supplier, let's say 5. And I want to get the codes. So the codes will be sent from the suppliers to the procurement, and procurement staff will receive the processes, will receive the tasks, and this is the task that the purchasing staff will fulfill. So at this step, we will enter the prices that we received from supplier 1 and supplier 5. For example, supplier 1 gave, let's say, 11 for this product 1, 12 for product 1 from supplier 5, and 15 for product 5 from supplier 1, and 14 from supplier 5 for product 5. And the delivery dates from the suppliers are as follows, let's say. And I will send the codes to the purchasing manager now. So the task is assigned to purchasing manager, and when purchasing manager runs on the process, he sees that this requester has asked to be bought these two products, product 1 and product 5, and price quotation for product 1 and product 5 from two suppliers are as follows, as well as the delivery dates. So in this step, the purchasing manager will select which product to be bought. So this is better price. I want product 1 from supplier 1, and I want product 5 from supplier 5, and I approve it in this way. Now, as the approval has been given, the order has been given by the purchasing manager, and the sub process for that is here for product 1, and here for product 5. This one is for supplier 5, and this one is for supplier 1. So this is the end of our procurement process design. Thank you for watching.